Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to In.The.News. Live news and commentary from around the world by your host, Holy Joe Rock and Roll.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Holy Joe Rock and Roll coming at you live and unscripted, well, as live as possible, because of the hit that I got because of the Camel Jockey rap video that was posted years ago was marked as hate speech. I've got a 90-day ban on actual live broadcast, but that should end soon in June, and I will be coming back to you live straight up. But this is my reaction to the latest Islamic attack on the UK, and obviously it's a bad thing, and it's a terrible thing, it's a horrible thing. But not many people have commented on what the Prime Minister Theresa May has said about the reaction, or her reaction. Now, 206 minutes into her 8-minute presentation, she already says that the cops responded within 8 minutes of the call, killed the three Muslim terrorist fanatical assholes that did this, basically ran over 20 people in a van, then jumped out. All three of them had fake bomb vests on and foot-long hunting knives and started stabbing people that killed 7 other people, or 7 people are dead, in addition to the 3 that were killed, the 3 terrorists who were suicide by cop. But I wanted you to take a listen to what she says at this part here. Give it a few minutes if you haven't heard it, and let's respond.
This is, as we all know, the 3rd terrorist attack Britain has experienced in the last 3 months. In March, a similar attack took place just around the corner on Westminster Bridge. 2 weeks ago, the Manchester Arena was attacked by a suicide bomber. And now London has been struck once more. And at the same time, the security and intelligence agencies and police have disrupted 5 credible plots since the Westminster attack in March. In terms of their planning and execution, the recent attacks are not connected. But we believe we are experiencing a new trend in the threat we face, as terrorism breeds terrorism, and perpetrators are inspired to attack, not only on the basis of carefully constructed plots after years of planning and training, and not even as lone attackers radicalized online, but by copying one another and often using the crudest of means of attack. We cannot and must not pretend that things can continue as they are. Things need to change, and they need to change in 4 important ways. First, while the recent attacks are not connected by common networks, they are connected in one important sense. They are bound together by the single evil ideology of Islamist extremism that preaches hatred, sows division, and promotes sectarianism. It is an ideology that claims our Western values of freedom, democracy, and human rights are incompatible with the religion of Islam. It is an ideology that is a perversion of Islam and a perversion of the truth.
Whoa. Okay, right there. Okay. Theresa May. I don't know where you're getting your intel from, but what you just said there is factually wrong. These are not, what did you say, Islamists? And they're perverting Islam? Actually, no. They are Muslims who are following the commands of the Koran. Let's take a look. People out there, you left-wing nut jobs, and even you potentially Christian bloody-hearted Christians, usually not Catholics, usually evangelical, Protestants, somehow have some kind of affinity to the quote-unquote religion of peace, considering that it's not even an Abrahamic religion. It's a complete made-up piece of shit. But here's the evidence. Don't take my word for it. Just put in your Google 109 verses in the Koran, and you will come to www.thereligionofpeace.com, and you can read the 109 verses in the Quran which call for violence against non-believers. Okay? It's real simple there. Here's just some of them. I'm not going to read them to you. It's all in the Quran, pretty much every single chapter and every single other page. You're going to find a verse of calling for killing non-believers or so-called infidels from the Muslim side. That is a fact. Now, we all have friends who are Muslim. They appear to be good people. So I'm not commenting on quote-unquote Muslims. I'm commenting on Islam. The Islam from the Quran as defined by Muhammad and the Quran and his God Allah. That's what the Quran says. And these are not references to a war. These are direct commands to followers of Muhammad, followers of Islam. Now, take it one step further. 164 verses for jihad in the Quran. Here they are, and they're listed 164 jihad verses in the Quran. Don't take my word for it. Just put in 164 verses of the Quran, and you'll come to this page. This is www.answering-islam.org, and you'll find it, and you can look them up. There's plenty of Qurans online. You can even download one to your iPad if you wanted to check these verses. But this is what the Quran actually says. This is what is commanded of Muslims. Okay? So this is not a joke. This is not a perversion of the religion of peace, quote unquote. This is the religion of peace. Okay? That's what it says. That's what we have to get our heads around. And that's what Miss May, you need to focus on. Now, her responses to this problem said we have to face up to the issues, and we have to make major changes in 4 different ways. Why don't you stop the continued immigration of people from Pakistan? How about you stop the immigration of anybody who's Muslim for right now, until you can figure out what is going on? Because obviously these attacks continue to happen, and it's always the same perpetrators. Muslims, typically from Pakistan, or in some cases Anglo converts. Okay, so it is the ideology. It's coming directly from the Quran, and this is a problem that you're not addressing. One second.
Sit down.
One second. So this is the live broadcast. Little man's coming to me. That's my comment on what Miss May said. I'm supporting of her and her attempts. She's probably under a lot of pressure from the globalists in her cabinet and the Zionists that are continuing to want the UK, even post-Brexit. One of the reasons why they wanted to break out of the EU is because they refuse to be subservient to these non-elected bureaucrats in Brussels, telling them what they can do and what they can't do, and how many so-called refugees or migrants they're supposed to take in, when we know that the migrants are flooded with jihadists and those sympathetic to ISIS, and these are values that are antithetical to Western values. We have to put an end to it. That's really all I have to say. I'm Holy Joe Rock and Roll. This has been In the News. Another #Islam sucks balls attack on the West. Another attack in the UK. #Islam sucks balls is the shortcut that says it all. Till next time, I'm Holy Joe Rock and Roll. Let's make it happen for the captain, because you're the captain.
Watching In the News, a feature of HJRR TV and presented by the Reverend Dr. Holy Joe Rock and Roll. Please rate us, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to this channel for more In the News.